count of the information, Joseph Rosenbaum, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the third count of the information, unknown male, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the fourth count of the information, Anthony Huber, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts? Is there anyone who does not agree with the verdicts as read? Would you wish the jury polled?
No.
Okay.
There's the, I guess he's 18 now. Whatever you want to call him, Kyle Rittenhouse. Obviously anybody would be happy to be found not guilty and their life spared. I have conflicting thoughts about this because I guess there's a legal part and then just the American vigilante part. But since you're the political vigilante, I wanted to ask you first what you thought.
Well, there's simple, just take away the corporate media, of course, overhypes this, and, you can be as critical of the corporate media as you want with regards to this case. And they're using this case to keep America divided. Absolutely. But America is very racist, and America has a gun problem. There's more guns in this country than people. And the facts, you can tell me about this and that from the trial and this, till you're blue in the face. The fact remains, had he not shown up with an AR-15, there wouldn't be dead people. He did this, right? So at the very least, I think it was the second charge, he should have been hit with reckless endangerment. Now you can debate murder, you have to show intent, and you have lawyers talk about that till they're blue in the face. Great. Reckless endangerment. There's a kid that brought a skateboard and he was looked at as the aggressor, and the kid had an AR-15 was looked at as a victim. That is insane to me. That is the insanity of America right now. He brought an AR-15, and I know gun owners. And when I first talked about this a couple of days ago on my show, Political Vigilante, in the chat were a bunch of people like, Graham, I'm a gun owner. I own an AR-15, and I would never, in all caps, go bring it to a protest. Never. So at the very least, he should have been hit with reckless endangerment. 2 people are dead because he brought a gun there. And who deputized this kid? So he just gets...
Yeah, I think that's the point, because I think there's a whole lot of people that were just squarely focused on whether it was self-defense or not. And legally, by the letter of the law, if every juror has to agree beyond a reasonable doubt, and there can't be any reasonable doubt, that doesn't mean he's innocent. It just means they didn't all agree that, and there was some doubt. And you could say, well, he was being chased, this, that, or the other thing. It came out that he knew the person chasing him was unarmed. But I think it gets to the broader point. If you want to say, okay, he was defending himself on the murder charge, we are basically allowing, in this case, a 17-year-old, but it doesn't really matter. It could be a fucking deranged 40-year-old, to basically say, well, I'm going to go protect my community from those Black Lives Matter thugs, or name whatever political group they don't like. And I'm going to bring an AR-15, or I'm going to bring this, that, or the other thing. And if somebody looks at me the wrong way, or if somebody gets a little too close to me, I'm in fear of my life, and I have a right to shoot them dead. And frankly, yeah, he was chased. But you want to know something? He showed up with an AR-15. So I don't know.
He showed up in an AR-15. No one was chasing the kid with the skateboard, because the skateboard's not a threat. A skateboard isn't a weapon that has one purpose and one purpose only, to kill someone. And it's not even like he had a handgun. He had an AR-15, which, the exit wound is usually about that big. It's AR-15 has got one purpose, not just to shoot and to hurt, to kill, to tear you apart. And the other thing too, this is the thing that again, everyone wants to get into, well, this and that. The prosecution attorneys were awful. Sure. We can talk about that. And everyone's missing the fact that this kid just put it on himself to deputize himself. And okay, so this is now that he's completely not guilty. So I guess then the next time there's a bunch of Trumpers going to the nation's capital, us on the left should all bring our weapons because we feel like democracy is under siege and we have a right to go to the Capitol with our AR-15 since they didn't send enough cops. They didn't send the National Guard on January 6th. Now, did they? So I guess we should have all gotten AR-15s and gone to the Capitol. The next time it happens, the next time there's a Trump rally, I don't feel safe at a Trump rally. I think Trump is a terrorist. I think his goal is to bring treason and take down the United States. He tried to stage a coup, right? I can make all these arguments, just like they claim all Black Lives Matter is destroying communities and they're going to riot and steal property and destroy stuff. Those are all their claims against Black Lives Matter and Antifa, right? Okay. I can make the same claims about the Trump supporters, the Second Amendment people, their domestic terrorists. So now I am going to deputize myself and all of the political vigilantes that watch my show to grab an AR-15 and go protect America from these white nationalist domestic terrorists. We sent young men to go kill Nazis in World War II. They had one goal when they went to Europe in World War II, to kill Nazis. Well, I can make the claim there's now Nazis infiltrating America, and it's our duty to get AR-15s to defend ourselves. Is everyone okay with this? Is the Second Amendment crowd okay with this?
Right. And I also think in the case of Rittenhouse, I mean, if you watch the videos, not just the actual shooting, but everything, his, I'm a medic. He did an interview while he was there with, I don't know, with the Daily Caller or somebody saying, I'm here to protect property, even though the property owners didn't ask him to come, didn't ask him to protect their property. There's people with delusions of grandeur, whether they're 17 or not, who think that they are the police or that they are the law or that they are the guardians of the galaxy here, that, you know what? He was a Trump supporter. I mean, his social media, he believed in all that now it's kind of licensing people to show up. I mean, it's not illegal to be a counter protester, but like you said, to show up armed, to basically, he was interacting with the police and the police were interacting with him. So to basically think it has like tinges of George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman thought he was like neighborhood watch and like even though he called the 911 dispatcher and she was like, no, don't go near him. Don't do anything. And why I'm scared, because honestly, people get I tweeted something and they're like, oh, self-defense. Even if to the letter of the law, you could argue it was self-defense. In this climate where, I mean, Trump is glorifying political violence, and we're going to get to the Democrats because they're terrible, but let's just talk about that. Let's talk about the extremism right now going on. Trump, you got this ghost czar who's tweeting out basically to like hang AOC, you have Republicans around the country that are literally trying to hijack each state's electoral system and even throw in jail the people on election commissions, throw them in jail if they certify the election. There is a creeping, not even a creeping, the ball is rolling for political violence. And this kind of has set the precedent. That's why I tweeted, if this is lawful, we need to look at the laws, because he should have never been permitted to show up with an AR-8. First of all, he could not buy the gun. He was 17. But secondly, we can't allow normal citizens to deputize themselves as the law, as the property protector, as that, the other thing. Because you want to know something? Next time, it's going to be a lot more people than 2 or 3 dead. Two people dead. Yeah.
If I'm a black person in America, I would say, well, I need to deputize myself because I'm not safe. Because let's not forget, what was this protest about? The Kenosha police shot Jacob Blake in the back 7 times. He was unarmed. Like, he was unarmed. And there's a popular TikTok video going out showing, they just did an experiment. They showed a guy walking down the street in a state where you're allowed to open carry. You're allowed to have an AR-15. White guy. Cops pull up and just go, hi, I'm just asking what's everything okay? Why do you have the gun? He's like, yeah, that's my law. And he goes, I'm not arguing with that. I'm just saying, the cop's like, okay. Black guy, get down. They didn't in the same state, black guy with a legal gun owner of an AR-15 saying the exact wording of the white guy, get down. So like, black people they need to, if they feel like the government, I mean, black people don't feel safe in this country. How could they? So I guess every black person needs to get an AR-15. And when they go to a Black Lives Rally protest, they'll be like, this is a peaceful protest until you guys start some shit, because we're here to protect our communities. The cops don't protect us. There should be armed AR-15 holding vigilante commandos in every black community then, right? I mean, according to using the logic of these white Second Amendment people, they don't feel safe. So I would, I mean, shit, I'm not a gun owner. I don't want to own guns. I don't want to live in America. We're on the brink of civil war, and Americans like, and people like the Kyle Rittenhouse who think this is a fun game. I'm going to bring a gun. I'm a tough guy. I play Call of Duty. I've been to a shooting range. Okay. I mean, read up on Yugoslavia in the 90s, read up on Ireland in the 70s, and, Somalia, any place that had a civil war, and it'll be hell on earth. It's going to be hell on earth. So the next time there's a protest and a rally, there's going to be a lot of people on both sides with guns. The notion that the libs are a bunch of snowflakes that don't have guns. I know a lot of lefties that are gun owners. I know a lot of lefties that served in the military. So this country is being ramped into a civil war, and it's another thing to divide and distract us. Nobody is showing up with guns because Jeff Bezos flew his $5.1 billion tax-funded cock rocket. That's who people should be showing up with guns for, getting rid of the rich. But no, they want us fighting with each other, and people are willfully going to do it because Americans are so easily propagandized on all sides. They refuse to think. So buy a gun, supersize your value meal, and, Super Bowl's in a couple months.